Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss the Belle Collective Season 1, Episode 2. This was a pretty entertaining episode, and I can officially say that I cannot stand Marie, but without further ado, let's just jump on in to this recap, okay? We start off the episode with Latrice. She is on the phone with her publicist, Melanie, and they're just talking about upcoming plans to boost Latrice's business. We already know that Latrice is a millionaire, and she is the CEO and the founder of her Goddess Lengths hair salon, and she has the vending machines all over the malls in Mississippi. So Mama is really making a serious coin. So while she's on the phone with her publicist, her husband Cliff walks in. I will always give Cliff a side eye because he has such a sneaky look about him, but I digress. While Latrice is still on FaceTime, Cliff says hi to Melanie, and then he compliments Melanie and tells her that she looks beautiful today. So Latrice seems kind of put off by that, and then she ends the call with Melanie quickly. So Latrice is visibly annoyed at the fact that her husband complimented another woman, and she's like, don't be telling another woman that they look beautiful. And he's like, I will do that if I please. If I see another woman and she looks nice, I'm going to say it. I didn't take it as he was being disrespectful. I get the impression that Melanie is also a good friend of Latrice's, and I'm sure she comes around a lot. So they kind of have that rapport where he can compliment her and say, oh, hey, you look nice. I personally didn't take it as Cliff was being disrespectful. I think that Latrice and Cliff have maybe dealt with infidelity, or Cliff seems to be very flirtatious, and I could see maybe that's why Latrice seems a little annoyed when he does that. But for the most part, I didn't take that as disrespectful. Again, this is my opinion. These are my thoughts. If you think otherwise, that's totally fine. But please keep it respectful in the comments. All I ask. But I was like, Latrice, the next time he does that, I would just smile and not even give him the satisfaction of him thinking that I'm jealous. I really wouldn't. Again, just my 2 cents on the matter. They're talking about her business, and she wants Cliff to invest in her business now. Latrice lets us know in the confessional that in the beginning, Cliff was not supportive of her idea at all. And the only reason why he's supportive now is because she's making some money and she's successful. And isn't that always how it goes? Everybody doubts you, and then when you make it, then everybody's your biggest fan. Cliff is kind of acting like because he's going to now invest his money in her business, he kind of wants some control and he wants some say in how she maneuvers. And Latrice is like, no, darling, that's not how this goes. This is my business. I did this from the ground up, so I'm gonna need you to be a silent investor. And so they laugh and they agree that Cliff is gonna invest his money, but he's not gonna get involved. And that's the way it should be. So the next scene, we see Tambra and Leticia. They are catching up on all the drama that went down at Leticia's really whack and bootleg women's empowerment brunch. And she's letting Tambra know that some stuff went down between Latrice and Marie. And Tambra's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And so Leticia's really upset because she was unable to bring up her plans to the rest of the ladies about Farish Street. So she's like, I didn't even get to tell them about the plans for it, but I'm actually meeting up with a woman who's a liaison for the Farish Street initiative, and so she's excited about that. So they're still talking, and Tambra lets it be known that she is throwing herself a birthday party, and she's invited all the ladies, But now, since hearing about all the drama that went down at Leticia's brunch, she's kind of apprehensive and nervous that some drama might go down at her birthday party. I have to say, I'm finding Tambra to be a little boring, and I'm gonna need her to pick up the pace with her storyline. So the next scene is, unfortunately, Marie. When I tell you, I cannot stand Marie at all. Like, it was painful, like, even watching her talk to her business partner and then skew the events of what happened at the women's empowerment brunch. So Marie is telling her business partner that she's just so busy with life. Everything is busy, busy, busy. She's go, go, go. She is taking care of her 4 children plus her grandkids. Well, we find out that Marie's oldest son, who I think is 21, has 3 babies, all under the age of 1. When she said that her son's baby's mothers call her up often and she feels obligated to send money because she doesn't want her grandkids to go without, I was like, okay, I get it. But he's a man. He laid down with these women and had these kids. He needs to have a job. And he needs to have some money in his pocket to provide for his kids as well. So then Marie gets to talking about the brunch, and she was just totally twisting the whole sequence of events. Girl, you started the whole mess. You started the entire mess. There was no reason for you to bring that nonsense to Leticia's brunch at all. You could have called Latrice. You could have called Latrice's salon and said, hey, I would like an exchange because this is the hair I got and this is not what I thought it was going to be. Like, there were so many things that you could have done before doing that. And it's your fault why Latrice doesn't mess with you. And when she was like, yeah, I was invited to Tambra's party and I know she's going to be there and I will break Latrice. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. One, who says I'm a boss anymore? That was so like 2013, 2014. You sound outdated. Like, it's embarrassing. Stop saying that. Like, and if you have to say that you're a boss every minute, are you a boss? It's like people who just say, I'm rich. If you just say you're rich, are you rich? Are you?
Are you broke? I have no money problems, believe me.
So I'm thinking,
no
are you
money,
broke?
Yes, no money problems whatsoever. That's Tony Braxton. That's not me.
When you're really that girl, you don't have to say it. Everybody knows it and you know it and it comes off effortlessly. Marie is not a boss. She is an insecure wannabe who has it out for Latrice because she's jealous of her. That's all it is. And it's clear as day. Everybody can see it. So the next scene, we see Leticia. She is with community liaison Dorothy. And so Dorothy is taking her on a tour and just talking to her about how amazing and how lit Farish Street was back in the day. Leticia talks about how her grandfather always talked about Farish Street as well. That scene was really cool to see. Dorothy was showing Leticia the famous Peaches restaurant, and it was so cool because Barack Obama had eaten there before he was president, when he was a senator. It's always cool to see different parts of the country and to see like the history behind it. So the next scene, we see Dr. Antoinette. I absolutely love Antoinette. Her and Latrice are my favorites on this cast, okay? Latrice comes over to Antoinette's home and they're just talking. Latrice brings her a hair box as well with all of her products in it. And she's like, yeah, I had to get a gift for my friend. They're talking about the brunch and Antoinette is like, Marie is delusional. And Marie is delusional on top of a terrible dresser and a fake boss. But I digress. So then the topic gets off of the brunch and they start talking about Antoinette's home. Antoinette has renovated her home because She's trying to just get out of the doldrums. She's newly divorced. She's trying to move on with her life and start anew. So then Antoinette shows Latrice a box that she found, and it has all of her ex's like old baseball bats and helmets. He was a really big baseball fanatic. So finding that again was kind of like emotional for her, and she's getting kind of teary-eyed. Latrice starts asking, what was the cause for the divorce? And Antoinette is like, well, the topic of kids, and I wasn't really willing to sacrifice my career to have kids because I had to take some time off to raise them, and I just was not in the space to even think about kids at this juncture. And that's completely understandable. I'm personally starting to think that Antoinette is holding back on some details about why they got divorced, because then we see in another scene when she goes to the baseball field with her ex's stuff with her other friend Keelan, and she gets really emotional again about the divorce and why it happened. And then she says something about, well, I knew how hard it would be to raise biracial children in Mississippi, and how she has faced a lot of racism in Mississippi. And I just get the sense that there's something that Antoinette isn't telling us. Just my 2 cents, I could be wrong, but I'm not necessarily buying all of what Antoinette is trying to sell about why her marriage came to an end. And generally in these shows, there is always more to the story, and I feel like she is holding back. So next we see Tambra. She is shopping with her stylist. I think they said his name was Ken, but they're doing some shopping. She needs a few outfits for her birthday because she's doing like a family gathering, and then she's doing a gathering with her friends, and she wants to look really good. Tambra in this scene, I was a little bit bored. She's letting us know that her parents want her to settle down. We kind of know how this goes. We've seen it on many housewives shows where there's a single housewife and she's feeling that pressure to get married and have some kids. She has frozen her eggs. She's 40. The clock is ticking. So Tambra also says that she was offered $1 million by an NBA player to have his baby because he thought that she came from good stock, and he thought that she would be a great mother to his kid. And she turned it down because she was like, I want to be in a marriage. Like, I'm not trying to just have a kid with some man who doesn't even love me, you know? And, you know, I get that. So it's the last scene of the night. It is Tambra's party. And I thought it was really funny when Tambra came in with like a motorcade and nobody was on the street and nobody even saw her grand entrance. I was like, okay. I have to say, if you're going to throw a party on TV and you're supposed to be an affluent woman, the party should have looked a lot better than that. And that's just no shade. I was kind of like, girl, this is it? Like, this is your party? And it doesn't help that I am coming off of the high of watching Bling Empire, and then I've also started House of Ho on HBO Max, and we're dealing with real wealth and people who know how to throw a lavish party. So when I saw this on the Belle Collective, I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, season 2, ladies, I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. But again, let's just get on with the rest of this scene. So all the ladies are there. Cliff is also there, and Latrice says something to the effect in her confessional, the fact that Cliff likes to know where she's going and he likes to accompany her as well. Latrice is a grown woman. She does not need a babysitter. She does not need a father. You are her husband. She is allowed to go to events without you. I thought it was kind of weird that Cliff was there too. It was like, there's something going on in their marriage. He obviously does not trust her for some reason, and he has some severe control issues. So obviously there's some tension between Marie and Latrice. Marie looked terrible. That outfit, whatever she was wearing, looked terrible. I was just kind of like, girl, again, you thought you were breaking it up and you looked, no ma'am. I'm gonna need you to find a stylist since you're such a boss, because your pieces are not hitting whatsoever. And it was really funny to me because Lateisha and Marie seemed like so pressed to get Latrice's attention. Like, Latrice really wasn't checking for them. And Lateisha was like, well, you know, would you be open to talking with her? And Marie's like, no. And it's like, Marie, like, Latrice was not checking for you. She did not care. And it was also funny because when they were dancing, Latrice was dancing with Cliff and she's dancing with Antoinette. And then you see Marie and her little friend just watching Latrice. And it was like, imagine being so bothered by somebody. Like, I'd be too embarrassed to let someone know that I was just that pressed. Like, girl, Latrice is not thinking about your delusional behind. Please believe that. I was also really annoyed when it was, I think, Latrice, Lateisha, and Antoinette sitting at the table, and Lateisha brought the whole incident up, and Antoinette was like, oh, by the way, what does Marie do for a living? And then Lateisha was like, I'm not gonna let you sit up here and attack my friend. And it was like, girl, calm the F down. Antoinette was just asking a question. What does Marie do for a living? That's not anything bad to ask. Like, Lateisha was doing the most. Lateisha, girl, I've been trying to give you a chance, but the fact that you're already on your delusional friend's side, I gotta just kind of put you to the wayside too, because I'm like, girl, you're doing the most. When Lateisha and Antoinette went to the side to like talk and kind of clear the air, and then Lateisha tried to get shady with Antoinette and like pulled her wig, I was like, excuse me? I was like, girl, not with these shiny plastic wigs that you have on your head, because Lateisha's wigs look a fool. Antoinette's hair looks 100 times better than yours. So I don't know why you were trying to be shady and why you were trying to tug on her wig, or you said pull it to the front. It was like, girl, you need to pull that cheap wig all the way to the front. You actually need to take it off and get some of Latrice's hair. Do yourself a favor. I said, it's always the folks who can't dress and have no sense of style, who always want to shade somebody else who actually has it going on. Antoinette's a lot nicer than me, because I would have gotten Lateisha all the way together for that. But all in all, Tambra's party went off without a hitch. That was the episode. Thank you all for watching my recap. Let me know what you thought of the episode. And next week's episode looks like it's going to be some more mess with Marie's son and all them babies. And I think he has a temper, because I think she says that he punched the wall. Child, he'd have to be out of my house, because you're not going to be sitting up there punching walls and giving me grief and I'm paying all the bills. I don't think so. But again, you already know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all later. Bye.